Join Bob Kolazarik as he welcomes a diverse array of guests to the enlightening talk show, Greetings from the Ashram. In each episode, Bob sits down with experts and practitioners from the world of complementary healing modalities, spirituality, and holistic wellness to delve into the transformative power of these practices. From ancient traditions to cutting-edge therapies, Greetings from the Ashram offers viewers an insightful and uplifting journey into the realms of mind, body, and spirit. So now, please welcome your host, Bob Kolazarik.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Namaste. I am Bob Kolazarik, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Tonight's guest is Amandine, a devoted mindfulness coach, renowned for her expertise in leading individuals towards inner peace and heightened self-awareness, which is, close, near and dear to my heart. Through her compassionate guidance and proven stress reduction techniques, Amandine is looking to inspire our viewers and our listeners to forge a profound connection with the present moment, nurturing a serene mind and a harmonized state of well-being, whether through soothing guided meditation or hands-on mindfulness practices. Amandine's skillful approach illuminates the way to emotional equilibrium and enduring personal development. So get ready to embark on a transformative journey with Amandine as she shares her wisdom and empowers you to embrace a life of mindfulness and growth. So welcome to the show, Amandine.
Well, hi, and thank you so much for having me and for this beautiful introduction. It's a pleasure to be on your show today.
Oh, it's a great pleasure to have you. Like I said, near and dear to my heart with the things that you practice with the mindfulness and that inner talk. It's so, it's like my passion too. So I just really excited to talk to you today. But, let's start out with where were you? I like to find out from my guests, when the bug started to hit you, the energy bug, the healing bug, where were you at in your life? What were you doing when things started to happen for you?
Thank you for that question. That's an excellent question. I wish I could tell you there was this moment in my life and that's when everything clicked. But truth of the matter, I've always been connected. My two loves were energy healing from a very young age and music. And my life basically after I became a teenager was to go wander around, try to find everything that I could do to finally come back to myself and acknowledge my passions. I think that the first time I got in contact with energy healing was when I was around 5, and we went to see an energy healer for my brother, who was a baby at the time. And when I saw the man just put his hand on my brother and basically almost instantly heal him, I was like, wait, that exists. That's a thing. Yes, okay, I'm interested. And music was the same from very early on. I would sing to the sun, to the elements. You can ask my grandmother. She didn't know how to shut me up. And so for me to be able to grow and through different basically techniques realize myself, realize my worth, and grow my self-confidence, I was able to connect back with what I truly was important to myself. And I think the pandemic was really the moment that for me changed everything. All of us had a lot of time on our hands. And
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
And so through that time, I was able to really think, okay, what do I want to do? And I went on, used the new outlets that we had to be able to study online. And as I was studying yoga and meditation, I really built up my confidence to be like, hey, wait, my true passions were energy healing, we're transcending ourselves, we're to be connect with the elements, we're music. So how can I bring all my passions together to serve people? And so yeah, that was really the moment that everything clicked for me, when I was doing my 500-hour meditation studies, and basically meditating an hour a day for 2 years, and being able to see the impact of a dedicated practice and an intense practice like that, and the freedom that it brings you to be able to finally let go of the trauma, let go of the blockages, be mindful and intentional in what you want your life to be. And I was like, okay, now I've reached that. I'm going to do what I love, and I'm going to teach that to other people so that they can be free too of their trauma, their blockages, and just shine as the beautiful person that they are.
No, that's awesome, and it's amazing, and it's definitely a familiar story. It's a familiar story with me because, at the pandemic, I mean, I had studied some energy healing prior to, and I was already started into the energy healing and the Arhatic yoga. But at the pandemic, Master Glenn, he's our teacher on the East Coast, started, well, actually, it became a worldwide thing for the energy healers. The pranic healers got into groups and healed COVID patients for 2 years, multiple times a day or, every day. They're different groups, but, several of them are still going on where we just do pro bono cases. But yeah, I learned a lot. That's where I got my certifications. We went through these certifications and finding that inner peace. I mean, we were meditating as a group like every night for the first 100 days. And then every Wednesday, and it still goes on every Wednesday. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You and I are like kindred spirits in that regard. You
Yeah.
know. So how has it changed you?
Oh, I I think like I did a 180 for sure. If I'm fully honest with myself, I was somebody struggling a lot with self-confidence, self-worth. I was putting a lot of power in other people's um, view of me. And so if, as I grew up, if there was something that, oh, don't do this, this is not a job, or, oh, you should do that, I would put that power in their hands instead of mine, and would more likely than not follow what people were suggesting I should do rather than listen to my own heart. And when I did the practice, I had to face, through that stillness, I had to face those moments, the past traumas, and realize that I had no reason to give my power away, and that I was just as worthy as any other human being on this planet. And those revelation, when you get finally to that stage of awakening and you realize why we are on this planet, who we are, and the value it holds, you can no longer, undermine yourself. You have
Yeah,
to shine.
there's no going back, right?
No, no, thank God there isn't. So yeah, it was a beautiful moment that since then I've just been trying to get on that mission to share that with the tools that I have and that I know for me are the ones that resonate the best with my students.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the whole healing process. It's not always easy either when you're just releasing those traumas, and then you think like, okay, we're good, we got a steady point, right? And then more layers start peeling off later. So it's a deep dive and this healing and um,
Kind of like an onion,
second, yeah, yeah.
right?
Right, just layers and layers coming off. But the mindfulness that comes with the meditations, in our Hatha yoga practice, we have like different meditations we do during the week. So, what's your meditation schedule looking like? Because that's where you're really creating that inner stillness and awareness that you need to cultivate. Correct?
Yes. Yes. For me, it was in the mornings, pretty much, as soon as I would get up. And it was just reciting my vows. And you're probably familiar with the vows that a Reiki people do. So I have a slightly, enriched version of that I recite every morning. Try to do a heart opening. And then just sit in the stillness and the silence. That has been really what worked for me. Since I have a kid now, I must say, I have had to find ways to bring mindfulness in a different way for me. Doing it 1 hour a day no longer works. So it's been about trying to find little moments throughout the day. And that's something that I think is important for anybody who is listening. Having meditation practice doesn't, it's great if you can do it, but it doesn't have to be something very long, something very sophisticated. Just sitting for a few minutes, appreciating our breath, appreciating our environment as it is, and just silencing the mind for a few minutes, as long as it's consistent, has a huge impact. So today it's more my practice, finding 5 minutes here and there throughout my day to just be mindful, grateful, open my heart, and appreciate the present moment. When we do that, everything just clicks. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's a nice, I don't know, I call it a life hack, but you could do that several times throughout the day when you start feeling like that little bit of overwhelm coming in, calm you right down, right?
Oh yes, yeah. One of the techniques that I love to do and teach to people who are just starting is to bring your hands like this against your chest, and just really focus on the fingers touching each other, and then you breathe into the thumbs, and you just feel the thumbs, and then you go on in your index and go fingers by fingers. By the end of the hand, you're so at peace, you forgot whatever upsetted you in the first place, and you can really start afresh. And it doesn't take long, it's just a matter of minutes.
Yeah, we do that too, but we focus on like as in our practice, our heart chakra, and then but by putting your hands, it helps to expand your heart chakra too. So there's probably when you're doing that, there's a sense of that peace and love that comes with it. So,
Yes.
um, but as you cleanse and balances your chakras through all these different meditations, your energy body gets stronger and it gets healed. And then, you start operating more at the upper chakras and the lower chakras, which is where we want to evolve to, right? And start becoming more heart-centered, heart-based people.
Oh
So,
yes.
so what else during the pandemic did you learn? You really started your passion then? Was it the sound healing too? Um, the,
Yeah.
the energy healing you were doing the Reiki? Is that what?
Yes, I started with yoga. The quote, "Not all who wander are lost." I was definitely wondering and not really sure if I was lost or not. But here's how it started. I started to learn how to become a yoga teacher, and then during the yoga learning phase, we were introduced to the meditation part, which I realized was a lot more what I was interested in, the power of the mind and how everything unfolds from how we think. And so that's why mindfulness is so important, right? So I moved away a little bit from the fitness part and really focused on the head part, the mindfulness part. From there, I wanted to really validate all the work that I had done. But I mean, all my knowledge as an intuitive healer. I wanted to validate it, so I became a Reiki master, and I started to realize that the things that I love the most could converge with sound healing. And so that's when I really basically stopped to try to figure out, what was out there, and just centered myself and try to find a modality between meditation, mindfulness, sound, and just bring it all together in the way that I could find the most effective for myself and for the people around me.
Yeah, I think it's number one. I think you hit it right on the head there. Something that works for you, right? Because then when it does work for you, then you can share it, and you want to get out and share it. What you're doing a fantastic job. So it is time to take a short commercial break. So when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the meditation and energy healing. I'm Bob Kozarek. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll be right back after this.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. We discover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back, everyone. I am your host, Bob Kolozarik, and you are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Back with Amandine, mindfulness expert, sound healer, energy healer, yoga person, just, soul
I'm
sister.
sure we forgot a title or two.
yeah, but soul sister, kindred spirit for sure. So
I like that.
Yeah. So it's nice to have a soul family, but especially somebody who, close to what I do. I love meditation. And I tell you what, there was a time in my life I would have mocked people for meditating. Meditating groups? Are you kidding me? There's no way I would ever do that. But now I lead meditation groups and happy to do so, So what about you? We have a practice that we're meditating several different times a week. You talked a little bit about your practice. You got the little young ones running around. So you talked about your daily routine, and how does that intersect with your practice of energy healing?
My practice of energy healing, well, it's interesting how it moved throughout time. When I was younger, I knew that I was connected with energy healing, obviously, and it would help when the occasion arise, my family, myself, my friends, but never went really deep into it. It's funny. I was wise enough to know that I was not old enough and not wise enough to actually do it, consistently. So I always told myself, when you're ready, you'll finally do that. And as we were mentioning earlier, doing my meditation practice, so consistently, and finally getting to that place of enlightenment, had faced my demons. I had gone the other side, and it just awakened something deep inside. And so now when I do a healing, it's just so impressive to see that the channels are open. You can feel the energy coming through. And so the way it's been working for me is that try to nurture that connection so that when I heal someone, I know that I'm doing the best that I can, and my chakras are cleared, and I am good vector, because at the end of the day, that's, I think, important to mention. We're not healers. I mean, that's a title we give ourselves, but we're just a vector of the healing energy, right? That we're sending it through us to the person, but it doesn't come from us. And so it's just important to keep everything open through mindfulness and meditation practice here and there for me. And yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but that's the way that I've been doing things.
No, it does. And you raise a couple points. I think it was last week I said, just consider me like a channel of the energy. I call it like I'm like your energy fill up station. You're a little depleted. Come on here for a fill up. It's very simplistic terms, but basically we're all energy beings, so we have the ability to um, channel it. So that's the way I look at it too. So, but you
Thank you for
make
saying that.
say again. I'm sorry.
Thank you for saying that. I don't hear enough people mentioning that, and so it's important when people raise that element.
Yeah, but you talk about also like energetic hygiene, which is important. We got to make sure our energy bodies are clean, making sure we do our own self care. So,
Mhm.
um, do you have any other, self care rituals? We'd say go out to nature is good, salt baths are good, different things like that. What
Yes.
do you think?
So I have a whole kit. Well, you can see my drum in the back and my chimes, but I also have, sorry for that thumbs up. I'm not good with those things. I also have crystal bowls. So I offer regularly sound baths, and I say sound healing because I really mix meditation with my crystal bowls. Um, I try to guide people through their vibrations, the bath of vibration that they're going to go through, and when I do that, obviously it has a big impact on me. I always try to have like heart opening themes and gratitude, forgiveness themes in the sound bath that I provide. Another thing, yes, that I really enjoy doing is going in nature. I have the privilege of living right next to a state park, and that is just a beautiful, stunning environment. It's called Smith Rock. If people are ever curious, and in Oregon, that's worth going to visit. And yes, it's just in those uniquely vibrating places. I live there, so that's where I often go. But in the heart of a forest, uh, the vibrations are unique, and those are such beautiful tools to heal, to rebalance ourselves. That's definitely something that I enjoy to do a lot.
Yeah, and we like I said, we salt baths because salt is like the it takes in the negative energy, right? So you can just it attracts it, and we use salt bowls for healing to put the negative energy in. So that's why we
Oh, you
um,
said salt bath. I thought you said sound bath.
no salt like table salt, spice. So yeah, but sound bath too. I've never had a sound bath, and I'm looking forward to having one someday. But I've heard like the combination of like the healing with the sound at the same time is super powerful, or if it's like during the same session. So I'm very energetically sensitive, so it would probably be lights out, I'm out of body in just a matter of minutes. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. Well, you're definitely going to have to come to one of my sessions for sure. I'll be happy to introduce you to it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to be on the road before long and traveling around in my RV. So I do need to hit the Pacific Northwest at some point. I have some friends up there. So need to be stopping by and, taking part of some whatever ceremony I can find along the way.
Well,
You know?
you're welcome in Oregon.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely will be there. So, what do you think about meditation and serving, a bridge between the spiritual energy and, finding that inner balance? And I'll tell you a little bit about meditation on Twin Hearts if you're interested. But there's a connection there. I mean, what's your take on it?
For me, it's been such an interesting experience because I've always been somebody very spiritual. I grew up in an atheist environment and never spoke, of that kind of things. And yet, for me, it was there is something out there. I'm not sure what it is. And when I did my meditation, I started to feel like I could touch that aspect of my connection with spirituality in a way that was not denominational. Sorry. Excuse my French.
Well, you are French, are you not?
I am. This is my, this is not my first language, so I apologize.
Oh no, you're doing great. You're doing fantastic. I wish I could speak
Uh,
French. But, say la
and
vie.
uh, and so, yeah. Duh. And so it's been very interesting for me to notice how meditation can really help us to bridge the gap between all the questions that we can have sometimes when we are spiritual beings, and really help us understand more all those questions that religion try to answer, but we understand them from a heart level, not through the words of someone else. And so that's where I feel like there is a huge connection. And the beauty is that if you're not someone interested in spirituality or you do not believe, meditation is still here, very powerful way for you to connect with yourself. So that's where I found, a beautiful link between the world that we cannot see and this world, because no matter where you are on the spectrum, you will get something out of it, if that makes sense.
Oh, 100% makes total sense. And I love the way you explain it. From our perspective, you know, we're meditating when we like meditation on Twin Hearts. You open up your heart chakra, and then once you open up your heart chakra, you can open up your crown chakra. We meditate, and then the divine energy comes through the crown chakra, floods through your body, and so it's very healing in that perspective too. It flushes out your energy body, and then we bless the earth based on the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi. So it's karmic in nature. So we're blessing. So we're entitled. It's like an act of service to the world. So
Mhm.
as we bless, we're entitled to blessing. We're blessing, sowing seeds of blessings for ourselves with that, and then we, have some quiet time and just take that divine energy. But my point is, there's so much divine energy coming through in this meditation, and we're invoking to the Supreme Being, God, and all the masters, and so it's a beautiful ritual. Beautiful invocations, but it just really cleanses and purifies. And then, to your point, then you really kind of really connect it inward to yourself. You're really starting to connect up to your higher soul. And even if you look to your point, if you don't even understand what's happening during the process, you're going to benefit. Even if it's just getting stillness that, you find, and we both find it super important.
Yeah. And I love that you mentioned that you start your sessions by heart opening, because I really think that it's the first step, kind of like dominoes. It's really the first step to unlocking all the love that there is in this world and within us. I feel like there is a lack of genuine, understanding of what unconditional love means.
Oh,
And when
100%.
we start,
That's
right?
100% correct. Yeah. Yeah.
And when we start to meditate and we start, especially when we do heart based practices, we slowly but surely unlock a world of love that we're not sometimes ready for. And, it's kind of like pushing doors and realizing that the fear of going in the next room was completely not valid, because the next room is even more beautiful than the previous one. And it creates this like beautiful circle of, like, oh, I want to keep going, I want to keep pushing, I want to keep opening my heart. Is there more love? And then you keep, encountering more love, and cry, because you're like, oh, I am worthy of that love, I can tap into it, that exists, I'm not alone. I mean, there's all those revelations, that you go through when you start from the heart. So yeah, thank you for sharing that about your practice.
Yeah, and it's not like but you become love. You are love, right? You just become that as your nature. Um, but when that happens, then you start connected to your intuition, right? Your mind is still. So now you're listening to the whispers of your soul. So are you being you with your business and how everything started? You're just kind of being pulled along, or you're not, or you following little roadmaps along the way. You just know intuitively what next to do, and things just fall into place. Do you find that to be true?
Yes, for me it was interesting at some point in my practice when I have work days, because I don't have daycare yet. So we make it work with my husband, and I have a few days that are my work days. I like to set an intention. And I remember about 7, 8 months ago, I was like, my intention today is to have fun. And from that place of listening to my intuition and setting an intention, everything shifted. I've always, like you mentioned, yes, the more you're awakened and you open your heart, the more you're in tune with your intuition and you can start to follow it. But when you also, on top of it, set an intention, and especially something as silly as being playful, for me, it was everything came together. It was like I knew exactly where to steer my ship to, and I had the faith that through the journey, everything was going to fall together. And of course, sometimes you're a little bit, jumping and in the void, and you wonder, what's going to catch you, but something will. And that it has been such an interesting journey. From that playfulness, I started to interact with a lot more professionals, and we started to team up on creating retreats together. I started a podcast, and I've been kind of like able to invite beautiful people and have conversation that are deep and meaningful. So yeah, it's really interesting when we lead from our heart, when we lead from our faith in the universe, to see how the universe, I want to say, winks back at you and is like, I gotcha. I'm going to
Yeah.
be playful with you, but I gotcha.
Yeah, see how it unfolds. But I like how you said it's when you're in the void, there's a void. Like, what? All right, what's next? I don't know what's coming. I know I'm supposed to be doing something, but it just hasn't worked out time wise yet. But yeah, I understand the void. I never really kind of heard it put that way, so I like that. So, but it is time to take another short commercial break. I am your host, Bob Kolozarik. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll be right back after this.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant. Like, I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I am your host, Bob Kolozarik, and you are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We're back with Amandine, having a great conversation. I tell you, it's, I don't know, I'm loving it. I hope everybody else is learning a lot about the energy body and keeping ourselves energetically clean and going within and just being present, and all important stuff. But I want to get into a little bit about the healing power of the music and the vibrations, because this is not something that I really understand a lot about, but I know I'll be coming up to Oregon to take to part at some point. But what's the scientific did I teach you the scientific basics of these different frequencies? I mean, it sounds like it's something that should be like measurable to me, but I don't know.
Yes. And yeah, it's a wonderful world, music. Before we talk about science, let me say for even the biggest skeptics that are out there, we can all agree that music, in a matter of seconds, can bring you to cry. It can move you. It can make you want to get up and dance. It can put a smile on you. It can change your emotions, your energy in a matter of seconds. And so from that, personally, I wanted to dig a little deeper and see if there was something. And it's been fascinating to see the amount of researches that there is out there. There is, I don't remember her name, but a doctor that wrote the tuning of the biofield. She used tuning forks in her work, but it's the same system that with crystal bowls. Crystal bowls have also been studied around the world, and there is peer-reviewed studies. Don't ask me to get into it because I will not be able to give you precise elements, but I can explain to you how it works. So we come from the concept that everything is vibrational, everything is energy in our world, at least at a certain level. We cannot see it with our eyes, but we know that on microscopic and even deeper than that, everything is vibration. And the concept of sound is vibrations. So the way we work as human is that we are constantly vibrating. Every of our organs are vibrating and at different frequencies. And we're kind of like instruments at times because of stress, because of our environment, because of disease. We can get a little out of tune, so to speak. And that's what happens, when we have aggravated then disease, is that dissonance continues, and basically the flow can no longer happen of energy that is passing. When you do a sound bath, you're allowing those healing vibration, the right vibration at which your organs and the body is supposed to be vibrating, you allow it to basically bathe the person. And what happens is that the part of you that was not vibrating at the level that we're supposed to starts to hear the vibrations and will want to sync with the right vibration. The same way when, I don't know if you knew that, but when you're next to someone and that person is starting to have heart palpitation, not that they might be alone, but their heart is pumping a little faster than yours, you can put their hands on your heart and put yours on theirs. Their heart is going to slow to try to match you. And it's basically the same thing that happens with the bowls. They're bathing you basically in harmonics that will allow your body to vibrate at a healing and healthy level.
So do you have a different sound bowl for each chakra, or how does that work? Are
Yes.
you intentionally treating the chakras with the energy?
There is currently there is two type of singing bowls. There is the 440 hertz. So 440 hertz, most instruments and during the 20th century, that was the first part of the 20th century, we agreed to standardize our instruments. Before that, they could be any type of hertz. And so we synced everything to 440. Lately, there has been a school that says that 432 is a more healing vibration. So the bowls, I work with a set of 7 bowls, one for each chakra. And so each chakra has their note, and that's basically what we respect here. I prefer not to work with 432 because the difference between 432 and 440 is not scientifically proven to be that drastic in difference in the impact that it has on the body. But what I do appreciate is that you can bring more instruments that are tuned to that level in the sound bath. So that allows more flexibility as to how you bring the healing session together.
So when you're doing a whole healing session, are you doing all seven so you start at the crown, or you start at the root chakra? Where do you start? Solar plexus, and but then you like treat each one. Is that how you do it? A
I
typical session,
usually,
like I would
sorry.
just treat all the chakras myself. But if I'm doing a healing with my healing crystal, um, same thing with the bowls.
Yes and no. So when I have a one-on-one session, I often do start indeed by the first chakra, the root chakra, and then work my way through. I kind of work intuitively, with what I'm feeling is needed for the person. And sometimes we also complement with tuning forks if I'm on a one-on-one. When I offer more group-based sound baths, it really depends on the intention and the theme of the sound bath. For instance, the one that I just did was to tune people to abundance and the sense of prosperity, not just with finance, but with everything. So I started from the solar plexus. And from there I worked with the root, I worked with the third eye, and then I try to mix basically the harmonies between each chakra to make sure that everything gets worked deeply. But it's going to change basically on the themes. If I'm working on opening and gratitude base, obviously I start very quickly on the heart, before opening the root and the crown, and then kind of bring a mix of everything so that all chakras are healed. But yes, I always try to work on everything. It's just I put the accent more on one or the other, either based on the client or the theme.
Oh, that makes total sense. I mean, we have different protocols that we use for different things. So if somebody's coming in for like a stress treatment, we'll do the solar plexus, lower emotions, right? Look front and back. We have front and back. You do your heart, crown, eyes, nose, throat, the
Yeah.
stress places. And, you're not doing the whole body unless they, want to do the whole body for balance. But yeah, so it's whatever it is that you're working on at that particular time, I suppose.
Yes.
So, so what kind of drastic turnarounds have you had from clients? Have you seen some amazing transformations from some of your people?
Sometimes, I don't know if I should say that, but I've been impressed by the results that I've seen. There is, for instance, I don't know if that was the energy that I was in, but when I was pregnant, I created a chakra healing course, 10 days. 15 to 20 minutes a day, and there is a mix of guided meditation, helping the person through breath work, visualization, and mantra singing before I bring them in a sound bath. And the mix of everything that my patient and my students go through, they have reported things that I was not expecting. Some were like, I'm sleeping like a baby for the first time, in months. Or I've had someone who had pains in their upper shoulders, and the moment that they started to work on the, between the heart and the throat, they saw vivid colors during their experience. They could feel like shift happening during the sound bath. I mean, I was like, wait, this is happening, and you're like, okay, well, it just really, you understand that you're doing the right thing, when you see all of those experiences. But yes, it's been a crazy journey. Some people were just sharing how the experience just gave them the answers that they needed, or they just started to finally hear their intuition, louder. Just I guess the vibrations of the bowls and that state of deep relaxation just allowed those doors to open within. And they were like, you saved me months of me trying to figure things out, and now it's clear. I mean, yes, it's been incredible, and I'm so humbly happy to be that guide, and like, oh wow, because I did that work, I've helped those people. It's been such an incredible experience to see those beautiful soul awaken and like improve their health, their minds, everything.
No, it is a blessing to do that work and to see that kind of results. I mean, it is very gratifying, and you're grateful because that's what you're being called to do. And then to see it, I mean, I know what you're saying. It's like, oh my gosh, did that person just heal like that? Because, we did, a lot of like solo work, but, in our certification programs and then the COVID pods, we did a lot of group healings, a lot of them. And we've seen some miraculous turnarounds, all different types of people. So and even after all these years, it is like, wow, is that really happening? So yeah, but your faith improves. But yeah, it is like that. And it's like, wow, what a blessing to be able to do this work and to be a channel of the energies and to do all that. So, that's about all we have for time. We do have your website. We can tell folks what your website is. It's amandinelrh.com. And
Yeah, that's my little world. Yeah, feel free to check out what I offer. I offer a wide array of different services, to fit like everybody's time and budgets. I am not one of those that just offers like 4 or 5 digit, sessions. No, I'm really trying to help everyone. So I have, as I mentioned, my chakra healing course. So I have online courses that people can just follow when they're busy, but still want to take time to heal. There is something for them. Some people that are just interested in a quick meditation or a quick sound bath, there is also something for them. And for people who are interested in digging a little deeper, who have blockages that they're really struggling to let go of, I have one-on-one sessions, packages that are basically a mix of meditation, sound healing, coaching, and just so that we can bring you from that place of being stuck to feeling like you can finally breathe again through something that is relaxing on top of it. So yes, if you're curious and want to learn more, feel free to check out the website.
And subscribe, fill out the form because you're offering a nice little meditation journal for people that subscribe to your page. And I would
Yes.
highly encourage some, to do that as well.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning it. Yes, I do have. I've always noticed that even when we have the best intention to start a meditation, when we're a novice and we do not have a circle or a community to plug, with to do that, I feel like it's so important to have something as simple as a journal to really guide us and keep us on track and make sure that we do that work so we can see the benefits. So yes, thank you for mentioning that. Yes,
Yeah, definitely. Journaling is huge. I'm trying to get better at it myself, but I'd like to encourage everybody to do it. And it looks like a nice journal. But Amandine, thank you again for being here. It's such an honor to have you. That's all we have time for. I got to take another quick commercial break. I'm Bob Kolozarik. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'll be right back.
thank you so much for having me.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. We discover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Bob Kolazarik, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I just want to do a quick shout out and thanks again to Amandine. What a fantastic guest. I loved her. I hope you loved her too. Tonight I'm doing something a little bit different. I normally do a little closing session by myself, but I want to introduce Nicholas Barasik. He's the director behind the esteemed Spiritual Holistic Expo in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's a cherished biannual gathering that has nurtured a space of peace and love for seekers of enlightenment over the past 39 years. And Nicholas, he has a remarkable academic background. He has 2 master's degrees, and he's pursuing a doctoral degree in applied artificial intelligence and machine learning. Nicholas is dedicated to pioneering early intervention strategies for depression, anxiety, and suicide prevention nationwide. His mission revolves around fostering community engagement and reconnecting with nature to proactively address mental health challenges. He's known for his commitment to uncovering truths through collaboration. The Spiritual Holistic Expo, it serves as a beacon of inclusivity, welcoming diverse spiritual, holistic, and wellness practices that elevate the collective consciousness of participants and exhibitors alike. So welcome, Nicholas, to the show. It's good to have you here. Good to see you, my friend.
No, thank you, Bob, so much for the invitation. I'm happy to join you tonight.
Yeah, so just tell the folks, we got a few minutes, not a lot of time, but the Spiritual Holistic Expo, which I have participated in the past, which is how I know you. It's been going on for 39 years. Let's, tell the folks a little bit about what's happening.
Sure. So first and foremost, all credit is due to my delightful grandmother, the fiery redhead Isabel Mall. She started it with a host of individuals at her church and her ministries 39 years ago. It's always been about, and it always will be about, fostering an inclusive space where dialogue between faiths and religions and groups of people can be found.
It's a great space. Like I said, I've been there. I've found it through my friend John and, participated, but the vendors and everybody there, they're just great people. I've made some friends, and just good friends just from being there from the other vendors, and it's just been fantastic. But we have a slide that we could put up on the expo. There we go.
Oh,
so
there it is. There's our
yeah.
wonderful little expo show card there.
So May 18th and May 19th, right?
That's correct. May 18th, 19th, 10 to 6 both days. We have a whole host of different speakers from across the whole world. I mean, we're jam-packed 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. every day with speakers. And of course, that's complimentary with the day pass. And with 184 vendors, I mean, you can find anything and everything there. And if you don't, let me know, and we'll do our best to bring that person in next time.
Yeah, we have Reiki, massage, Shiatsu, other energy healers like myself, the shamans, my personal favorite. Oh my gosh, Judy Kay. She's the psychic clairvoyant, right? So,
yep, coming in from New Jersey, absolutely.
Yeah, so her and her husband, I got to know a little bit. So let's put contact information up on the screen just so they can see it. We got a couple minutes left. So Barasik Nicholas at gmail.com, right?
That's correct. You're free to call me using the phone number on the screen, or our office line is always open too, 610-791-2641. And all questions are always welcome. Always happy to interface with people.
So do you have any vendor spots open for anybody, the last minute looky-loos
We have,
looking to?
we unfortunately had a cancellation come through due to some sad circumstances. So we have about 2 or 3 booths that are left over. So, if anybody good, anyone that's been tremendously impactful in your life, send them our way. We'd love to interface with them, hear from them, and maybe even bring them on board. Now, I wanted to tease something here for you, Bob. We got these beautiful bracelets for vendors and 2-day people. Spiritual Holistic Expo, little dove on it on the backside. Peace and blessings. Okay. If you're in the first 50 to 100 people through, happy to give you one. And all vendors get it. So, Bob, I'm going to give you 2 of them. You can give it to a friend.
Nice. All right. Fantastic. I just want to make sure I was getting mine, but as long as I could share, that's awesome. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. It's a great event, and I appreciate you coming on it and sharing a little bit about it. It's a wonderful community. So thank you.
No, Bob, thank you so much again. We look forward to hosting you, and everybody that's watching. Anything else that you'd like to add? We're happy to always hear from you. Thank you again for having me on, Bob.
All right. It's a pleasure. So that's all the time I have today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward to May 18th and 19th at the Allentown Fairgrounds. So I hope you enjoyed the episode today. Amandine was great, and you could tell she's just so wonderfully committed to that mindfulness and the healing. She's just doing amazing work. So again, thank you. Until next week, I'm Bob Kolazarik. You've been watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Have a great weekend, everyone. Namaste.
This has been Greetings from the Ashram with host Bob Kolazarik. Through meaningful conversations and practical insights, this show invites you to explore the endless possibilities for personal growth, healing, and spiritual awakening. Tune in each week to discover how these practices can bring balance and harmony to your life, making it a true journey of self-discovery. Fridays, 7 p.m. on the Bold Brave TV network.